Hello, Facebook. Let me know if we're live here. Great. So we are live. Hi, Instagram. All right. I want to go live quickly here tonight. I just finished up a coaching call with my last client of the day, and I wanted to do a quick video about self-sabotage because we've all been there. I'll tell you that. We've definitely all been there. And I just had to click right now to make sure our connection's good on Instagram. Okay. We are going live on Instagram. We are going live on Facebook. If you're here live, let me know. I actually can pull up on Facebook and see if there's any comments coming through. But I wanted to go live here to talk quickly about self-sabotage because we've all been there. If you're not familiar with self-sabotage, it's when you're going against your own will. It's when you are essentially, you're like, I know I have this goal. I know I want to achieve this goal. And also, I'm not doing the things that I know I should be doing in order to achieve this goal. Or you start like going after a goal, you have some big success, you have some quick wins, and then you do something to sabotage it, right? Like you don't follow up on an email, or you don't do what you say you're going to do, or you forget something, right? This happens because we are locked in on our old identity. We are locked in on the old identity that doesn't have money, or that doesn't have a good dating scene, or that doesn't have the business that we want, doesn't have the job that we want. And as soon as things start going well, the old self, the old identity wants to pull you back. It wants to pull you back into what you know, what is safe, what is comfortable, like the thing that you think is who you are. And I'll give you an example of this. This happened to me when I was building my six-figure business, and I had signed a lot of clients. I think I signed 4 or 5 clients right in a row, like within 1 week. And I was wanting to celebrate that. I was like, this is so great. Like, of course, I want to celebrate the success. Like, it started happening really easily. Like, great, super great win. And I really wanted to celebrate myself. But in that moment, my subconscious mind started freaking out. And without warning, I started crying. And it was because my subconscious mind said, like, I don't think you're supposed to be this successful. This shouldn't be coming this easy to you. You're not supposed to have all this money. It's better when you struggle. And my old identity, my old self literally wanted to take me back into what I knew, the thing that was familiar for me. Now, because I had a coach, that self-sabotage didn't stick. Because I was able to go get coaching and say, like, I'm trying to make this a problem that I like signed so many clients. I also got coaching one time when I was like trying to make a problem out of a non-problem. Like I was like trying to be competitive with somebody that like it just really didn't matter. And I was wasting my energy on like being competitive and jealous of someone. And I got coaching on that. Like, of course, this is a self-sabotage. Of course, you would want to like, you're used to having problems. You're not used to having things go well. So my old identity, my old self was like, oh yeah, we need to create drama. We need to create drama, right? And for some of you, you don't even know you're doing this, right? Like you just think like, oh yeah, this is true. Like this person is doing this to me. Or you're just like, well, I'm just not a person who knows how to follow up, or I just can't get a hold of my finances. Or like, I just don't know how to use social media. So I guess I just can't do my business. Or I'm just afraid of being seen because, I'm just afraid of being seen, my childhood and like, I'm just afraid. And you let that define you. And then that is sabotaging you from your own success. So the good news is you are the only thing in your way of creating success. And the bad news is you are the only thing in the way of creating your success, right? So I want you to let me know in the comments if you've ever been here before, where you did something, you made a decision, you didn't follow through on something, maybe you created drama out of something, maybe you got really scared and like fell back and stopped making progress. And if that has happened to you, that's okay. That is part of the process. Now, one of the things that I love that Brene Brown says is something to the effect of at least you're going after it. Like if you show up, you have some successes or you have some failures and then you self-sabotage, at least you are actually going after your goal. The biggest self-sabotage is not going after it at all. telling yourself, well, that's just not for me. I can't do this. I don't have the money for that. Like I can't run my business, or I just won't be able to do it. Won't be able to sell. I won't be able to grow. I need to take a step back. That is the thing that will keep you stuck. And the reason I wanted to do this video now and put it up on the podcast is because as of time of this recording, it is November 9th, 2025. This is the perfect time where people make reasonable excuses for self-sabotage. So if you have a business goal, you might just be like, well, I'm taking time off for the holidays for the rest of the year. I guess like we're done. Like a lot of times people will just be like, I'm done. Same thing with fitness. Well, like it's going to be a busy time of year. So like, I'm just going to let go of my fitness routine. I'm going to let go of my nutrition plan. Like it's just not a good time. Right? You might even say, well, like I'm just not able to date right now. It's just going to be a busy time of year. So no matter what your goal is, like this time of year, when the holidays come around, is like such a perfect and easy time for us to be like, well, the year's pretty much done anyway. And what I've seen time and time again for myself, I've seen it for my clients as well, is this is when high achievers lock in. This is when my clients are already starting to plan for January, February, March, April, May. Like they're already stepping into the identity of what they're creating next year. And they're still staying consistent, working on the goals that they're working on this year. The most amazing thing that happened to me in my business is typically every single year, I have my biggest months at the end of the year. November and December are big months for me. There's a lot of times where I've made $25,000 in the last 2 months of the year or more. And I want you to just be really aware. If your brain is trying to tell you that this would be a good time to stop, to slow down, it's going to be busy anyway. I'm going to be traveling for the holidays. I coached one of my clients on this. She was going on a 2-week vacation. And she basically just told me like, well, I guess like, I'm just not going to make that much this month. And I said, or you just learn how to make the same amount of money in 2 weeks. And you get started on it right now. So the reason I'm saying this to you is if your brain has been slowing you down, if your brain has been telling you this is time to stop, I want you to get curious on why. There's this thing called the upper limit problem, which is essentially you get comfortable where you are and then you get stuck there. And it's hard to break free from that unless you decide to change the way that you think and the actions that you take. So when you're thinking about, okay, last January, the January of this year, what was the goal that I set out to achieve? Did I want to make a certain amount of money in my business? Did I want to do something? Hi, Bree, I see you're on here. Did I want to do something with my health? Did I want to do something in my relationship? Did I want to finish a project? And typically this is when like disappointment sets in and we're like, man, I didn't do the thing that I said I was going to do. Or like, I didn't get as far as I wanted to get. But when you have an actual plan and your plan involves becoming the person you say you want to be, becoming the person that has everything that you want, then you don't take days off. And I don't mean you don't rest. You don't take days off of your identity. You don't take days backsliding into the old version of you. Your brain might really want you to do that. It might really want you to slow down. It might really want you to say like, yeah, I just can't do it. It might really want to give up sometimes when it gets hard. But I just coached another client on this a couple of weeks ago. Imagine yourself actually giving up and giving in. It's boring. It's boring. It's been done. You've done that already. You know the results that you get. And you know how it feels when you just give up. And the word I like to use is like when you feel wormy, when you feel like defeated, discouraged, like, oh, just poor me, pitiful. It doesn't feel good to feel like that. And the way out of that feeling is by getting into action, even if it's the wrong action, even if it doesn't even get you the results that you're wanting to achieve right away. The point of doing the action is to learn. And I think about myself over the past 3 years of how many times I've failed, how many things I've done, how many setbacks I've overcome, how many challenges I've shown up for again and again and again. And there's been times where I want to feel taken out. I want to quit. I want to stop. I want to be like, well, that's too hard. And my brain can be extremely negative and extremely dramatic. But when I keep showing up, I feel better. When I show up to coach my clients, I feel better. When I show up to sell, I feel better. When I show up to write emails, when I show up to do TikTok or lives like this, I feel better. And in doing so, I've cultivated this identity of a person who just keeps showing up. And I remember when I first started my business, it was like back in 2015, when I first started learning how to go live and do things like networking and talk about what I do. It was so hard for me. I just couldn't. It was like so hard. It was very dramatic. And now it's just like not even a thought. It's like, of course I'm going to do that. Of course, because this is what I do. I offer value to people by helping them transform their mindset to transform their life completely from the inside out. Because what you think on the inside creates how you feel, and this creates the actions you take, which creates the results that you have. So if there are results that you're disappointed about not getting, that's not a reason to give up. That's a reason to lock in. That is a reason to get refocused. That's a reason to get yourself up off the couch, go for a walk, eat an apple, eat a salad, go for a workout, make a Facebook post, go on LinkedIn, do a free training, make an offer, write an email, go on a dating platform, like whatever your goals are, now is the time to lock in on it. Now, here's what I'll tell you is why it's hard to do this when you feel stuck and you're trying to do this on your own. The reason why having a coach is so impactful is because they know what your vision is. They know what your goal is. And they also know what your future self-identity is, like who you're becoming. They see it. Every single time you're talking to them, you're working with them, you're on a call each week, they see those three things. And they call you forward into that version of you. They pause and let you actually see and celebrate the wins and the progress you're making. Because there's this thing that happens in psychology. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. And essentially what it is like in the beginning of a goal, right? In the beginning of the year, everybody's gung-ho. And then at some point, rather quickly, they fall off. And in the middle, it feels like the river of misery, the river of despair. It feels too hard. I'm not seeing results. I'm not seeing progress. And that's when we revert back and just do nothing or keep doing what we were doing before that doesn't get us results. And what coaching does is gets you through that middle part. The part that feels hard. That feels like you're trying everything and it's not working. That feels like you've done everything. You're exhausted. The part where you're like, I know I'm smart, but I just can't get this one thing. I know I'm capable, but why am I not making the money I want to make yet? That whole middle part is all mind drama. It's all of your limiting beliefs, all of the negative thoughts that you have about yourself, all of the times that you failed before that come back to haunt you, to remind you how horrible you are. All of those childhood stories of any time that anybody was mean to you comes forward. And in that moment, when you're trying to go after a goal, your brain gets really loud and really negative. And that's why having a coach to counterbalance that out is extremely important. But what does coaching even do? Let's talk about that. Because I think a lot of people think that coaching is all about being positive. Like be positive, be motivated. You're a motivational speaker. No. Not the way I coach. What I actually do is help my clients see what is actually in your way. A lot of my clients are like pretend positive thinkers. They're like, I'm doing great. Everything's great. It's wonderful. I believe in myself. And I'm like, but really? Because if you fully believed in yourself and you fully knew how to do it and you were fully executing, you would have the result. So although you may believe in yourself as a human, great, you're not believing somewhere in your ability to get the result. And your brain is trying to protect you from negative feelings. It's trying to protect you from feeling bad and feeling like a failure. It's trying to keep you safe from rejection. That is what a normal, healthy human brain is doing. And it feels on the inside like you're crazy. So what coaching does is shows you the awareness of what's going on inside your brain. It brings it forward. It shows you exactly what you're doing, how you're self-sabotaging. And once you have that awareness, you create a new alignment. So alignment is when you do what you say you're going to do. You follow through on the thing that you say you're going to follow through on. That's what this is all about. And the power of coaching is you have somebody there from the outside of your brain who's not on the inside in the crazy part brain, right? Who's saying, okay, let's look at this logically. Let's find out what's useful and what's not useful. And then we come up against some type of emotion. There's always an emotion inside or a thought inside that's in the way of you taking the next step. And so sometimes we actually have to pause long enough to be with that emotion. Most of my clients are highly intelligent, highly logical. They just want to outthink their problems. They want to skip over the feelings part. And part of the work I do is all about feelings. It's all about being with the emotional state that you're afraid of. If you're afraid of rejection, let's talk about it. Because if you are so afraid of rejection and so afraid of failure, then your brain is not going to ever let you take the actions that could lead to rejection or failure. And if you're building a business, you just will not make money, period. If you're afraid of rejection and failure and it's causing you to freeze, you just will not be able to make money, period. So we have to create the emotional capacity inside of you to be able to feel those feelings, to be able to do it anyway. And if you've never learned how to feel a feeling, like this is new to me. And I only learned this in my 30s. I'm 40 now. But like, this is not a normal thing that people teach us. But when you learn how to feel a feeling on purpose, when you learn how to be with it and not run from it, you're super powerful. You won't be self-sabotaging anymore. Or you will catch yourself more quickly when you are in a self-sabotage. That is the power of having a coach in your brain each and every week. So the first piece is having the awareness on your mindset. The second piece is emotions. The third piece, and this is kind of like a cluster altogether, is your vision, your values, and your identity. So we talked about identity at the beginning of this. Identity is the version of you that you think you are. Identity is not like, oh, I'm a mother, oh, I'm a teacher. It's not your job. Your identity is who you think you are. And that leads to the actions that you take, which are in alignment with your values or out of alignment with your values. So if you've not yet defined your values, you might just be blindly doing things that aren't even in alignment at all, right? Because we're unaware and we're unconsciously acting. And then the third thing is having a very, very clear vision. There's a line in scripture that says like people without a vision will perish, right? But it's basically like, yeah, you're just wandering around in the desert with nowhere to go. You don't even know what direction you're going in. So when you have your vision, your values, and identity all in alignment, then you are clear and focused on how to move forward. And part of coaching is having accountability and practicing that new identity every week, checking in on your values and your vision to make sure you are continuously moving in the direction 1% at a time, because that's how goals are achieved. And the things that get in the way typically are all or nothing thinking, perfectionism, imposter syndrome, thinking you're not good enough. All of those things are things that we coach on together. So if you're here at the end of the year and you're having some of those thoughts like, oh, it would be easier just to kind of like settle in, just take a vacay. Listen, that's fully in your right to do if you feel like that's in alignment with your vision. And you're like, yep, every year I make enough money and then I just take these 2 months off to be with my family. Great. But for those of you who are still like, wait, I still have goals I want to achieve. This is your time to stay locked in. This is your time to get tapped in. And don't let this be a time of year that you self-sabotage. And because of that, I wanted to make this quick training for you, this quick episode for you, and give you a special offer. Because listen, a lot of self-sabotage comes in the form of overconsumption, in the form of spending, in the form of watching Netflix, in the form of eating too much food, buying too many things, right? And this time of year, the holiday season, Black Friday sales, the Christmas holiday, any other holidays that are celebrated, we're buying things. I want you to be mindful of how you're using your investment, how you're using your money during this season. The reason I say this is because I see so many people, and I'm one of them. I love shopping. I love going out and getting deals. And over the past few years, I've done a really great job at noticing what I'm bringing into my home, noticing if it's high quality, noticing if I even want it, if I even need it, and like slowing down my consumerism. And to be honest, I've always chosen to invest my money in my personal development for the past 15 years, into my personal development, into my knowledge, into my capacity, into me becoming a better version of me, into me loving myself more, into me learning how to set boundaries, into learning how to grow a business. So when we think of spending money during this holiday season, I want you to think of investing in something in you that will actually last, something that you will be proud of in the next 5 years, because you invested in something that actually gave you an ROI, a return on investment, that gave you results. And I want you to consider this year on Black Friday investing in coaching for yourself. And I have 2 offers for you. These are live right now. So if you message me right now and you say Black Friday, I will send you the details to get enrolled in these offers. And these are valid through November 28th of 2025. So you have about 9 days to take advantage of these offers. The first one is 3 months of one-on-one coaching with me. So all of my coaching is done virtually, so we can coach from anywhere in the world. And on our coaching calls, what we do every single call is we work towards taking an action on something that's in alignment with your vision. So whatever your goal is, you can have multiple goals, but every call you're accountable to the action that you take. And every call you're changing your identity. So you're learning how to stop self-sabotaging. You're learning how to stop letting perfectionism get in the way, right? So you ever have a thing that you want to do, but you haven't started doing it because you know in your mind, you're like, I want it to be a certain way. But you're like, well, it's not going to be good enough because I don't really know how to do that yet. I teach you how to just get started without having it to be perfect. I teach you how to feel like you're good enough right now to make money, to launch your business, to start selling your offer, or to start dating, whatever that is, to love yourself enough to start moving your body if you want to have a weight loss goal or a health goal. All of these are the same. They're the same principles. So when we coach together, we are focused on your main goal. And my job as your coach is to do 3 things. Number 1, I'm going to bring awareness to you on what is going on in your brain. Because if you don't understand the problem, you're not going to be able to fix it. The second thing I do is offer you a different perspective. And the third thing is when you embody the different perspective, then you're able to take action. And the action is what drives your results. That's going to be the thing that changes your life. Now, the principles we use in coaching together are a few. Number 1, I'm a results-based coach. That means our goal is to get results together, right? But underlying that is emotional maturity, learning how to feel your emotions. So I also do what's known as somatic processing with my clients. This is when we sit and feel emotions together. And some of my clients are like, nope, don't want to do that. Don't got time for that. But here's what I want you to know. When you're not properly processing emotions, here's what you're doing. You are staying up late, binge watching Netflix, shopping online. You're trying to go to bed early, but you can't because you're dysregulated in your emotions. You're overeating. You are gossiping and talking to people because you're creating extra drama, because you're just trying to be distracted from your own life. And it feels better when you talk about people, makes you feel better about your life. You're watching reality TV and you're like, oh, this is so great. Because instead of doing things in your business or doing things to reach your goals. So when you're not mindful, when you're not aware, then you're doing other things. You're distracted. You're wasting time and you're wasting money no matter what. But when you focus in, when you get tapped in and you have a coach, you're always working on those goals. This is the offer. Normally, I'm not going to tell you my pricing on here because my pricing sometimes changes. And I know this podcast will live on. But if you're watching this in real time, just know that you will get 33% off of a 3-month coaching package with me. That 3-month coaching package includes 11 calls, Zoom calls, virtual, and you can start your coaching package anytime before April 2026. So if you do have some travel that you want to do for the holidays and you want to get started in January, it's a pay now, start later investment. So 33% off, 3 months coaching with me so that we can achieve those goals together. And you can use those 11 calls at any time as long as you initiate it before April 2026. That is my first offer for you. And I'm telling you, my past clients are probably going to scoop up these offers. I have a limited amount of them because I'm not going to overfill my calendar. So just know the sooner you buy it, if the link is still available, the more opportunity you're going to have to get first pick on my calendar, to make sure that I have space and to make sure that I can coach you. So I'm going to cut them off when I feel like my calendar is full. So that is my first offer. My second offer is my virtual program called ReslientAF. You get 6 months inside this program. During the month, the ReslientAF is a breathwork program, and I also do intuitive readings inside of it. So this is for you if you want to learn nervous system regulation, you want to learn emotional processing, you want to tap into higher states of consciousness, you want to be in a community where we're sharing openly, where you feel like you're seen and heard. And you want to tap more into your spiritual side. You want to get more into journaling and mindfulness. This is a component that all of my one-on-one clients get. So if you're a one-on-one client, you're going to get this for free anyways. But if you want to start here, this investment is normally $47 a month. But what I'm offering at for you for Black Friday is $197 for 6 months. So normally it would be $282 if you paid all of those months. But if you pay in full, it's $197 for 6 months. And you get access to all the past recordings. You get access to the portal with the recordings in there, with breathwork, and also with the intuitive readings and teachings that happen once a month. This is also a great place for you to get coached by me. So I do a live teaching every month with an intuitive reading. So it's a great place for you to bring any of your challenges to the call and get some coaching and teaching included. And if you've never done breathwork, the purpose of breathwork is to tap into higher states of consciousness and move through any trauma, any emotions, any stories, anything in the body. It helps you to release it. So those are my 2 offers. They're valid until November 28th. We've got the first offer, 33% off of my 3-month coaching package. If you want access to this, you're going to message me Black Friday or comment below. And then the other offer is my 6-month group breathwork program. It's called ReslientAF. And you get that at basically 50% off. It's going to be $47 a month or $197. And what I'm going to do, because it's normally only 6 months, is I'm going to throw in some bonus months for you so that you actually get to be in these extra 2 months. So essentially, your 6 months will start in January instead of December. So you get some bonus months. You get the bonus month of December and you get an extra month for free. So comment Black Friday below. Let me know which one you're interested in or send me a direct message. You can also book a consultation with me. So if you're like, hey, I think I want coaching, but I'm not really sure if you can help me or how you can help me, book a consult. Do the same thing. Send me a message that says Black Friday. We'll book a consult together if you want to do that, or you can just scoop up one of those coaching packages. If you coached with me before, we don't need to do a consult. You know what my coaching is like. So that's what I have for you today. Let this be a time and a reminder not to self-sabotage. And I want this to be an exciting offer for you to invest your money in something that nobody can ever take away from you. Nothing is ever going to break down. You're not going to throw it in the trash. When you learn these skills of emotional regulation, when you learn how to reach your goals, when you learn how to have awareness, when you learn how to actually do what you say you're going to do, stop procrastinating, stop the perfectionism, stop the self-sabotage, stop beating yourself up, your entire life will change because you'll become a new person, you'll get different results, and things will start happening for you in amazing ways. So show up for yourself, send me a message. Let's get together and let's start coaching together between now and April 2026. All right, that's all for now. I will see you next week.